For the next few days, the world, the media, yea, verily, even this program, we will focus on Crimea, at least in part. And in some ways, it's a study in history, study in self-government, maybe a little bit of study of self-war, clearly a study in hypocrisy. So before I look at the details, please, let me say this. We owe Russia a debt of gratitude for the annexation of Crimea in 1783. Yes, in 1783, the very year that the American insurrectionists, the American rebels, annexed large tracts of land and took them away from the crown of Great Britain, took away 13 colonies from the Parliament of Great Britain. In 1783, the Russian Tsarina, Catherine the Great, she annexed Crimea to Russia. And we owe her a debt of gratitude. In case you don't know, at that time, the Russian people were involved, as were many other Christian peoples, were involved with an ongoing struggle with the Ottoman Empire. And the Muslim Tartars of Crimea had a loose association with the Muslim tyrants of the Ottoman Empire. And Crimea was used as a base for large kidnapping raids, where the devout Muslim men would leave Crimea and would kidnap Christian people and sell them as slaves. And that was part of the motivation that inspired Catherine the Great during the Russo-Turkish War, and then ultimately resulting in the annexation of Crimea. Now, and we owe them a debt of gratitude. And I want to personally thank Catherine the Great for helping break the back of the kidnapping and slave trade that went on for years under the leadership of devout Muslim men. Let's define the word annexation, shall we? According to one of the online dictionaries I looked at, it says, the action of annexing something, especially territory, seizure, occupation, invasion, conquest, takeover, appropriation. Now, later on in the program, we will take a look at the different tracts of land that the United States annexed, okay? There's such a sordid history in the United States. The hypocrisy that we are displaying at this time at our State Department is almost laughable. But before we go there, I would like to point out that there was a vote in the Crimean Parliament to allow a vote, right? The Crimean Parliament said, we're going to break away from the Ukraine. The Russian troops that are on the ground there, well, there was already a treaty for Russia to have a certain number of troops. It looks like they exceeded that number, but nevertheless, it wasn't a conquest. There wasn't a lot of bloodshed. And there was a vote, folks. By every account, over 95% of the people of Crimea said, we are going, or at least those who voted said, we're going back to Russia. Back to Russia. And while all of this hand-wringing is going on at the State Department, I want to point out to you that we may have a new nation bordering us. Did you ever think about that? You do understand that Quebec is in its pursuit, again, of independence from Canada. We could have a new nation to our northern border very shortly. And if Quebec is successful in pulling out of Canada, there are other provinces among the 10 provinces of Canada that also have secessionist movements. They want to secede from Canada. I don't see us up in arms about that, although if we do have another nation to our north, and they decide to follow a different foreign policy with some of the people that we are historically at odds with? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll look at some of the other votes that are going on in the very near future involving secession. The United States isn't all worked up about those. And we'll look at some of our own sordid history. And then maybe John Kerry can not embarrass us so much. I'll take a break. I promise I'll be back. This is the Voice of Resistance.